2007, we built the Warrior Wrestling Complex. And so we had, there's James and Blaise right there. And then my son's in middle school. He's right there now. So, and there's our first youth state title. I guess it was 2005. So, and then this is the newspaper print from, that's a piece of metal that they actually print newspapers off of. And then, so this right here is a picture of the 1970 or 71 NCAA tournament. It was hosted in Auburn, Alabama. University of Auburn hosted it, and then they dropped the program the next year. So,
is that Coach Bono?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And Javier.
So Coach, what do you think about the whole COVID thing going on?
So, we're starting football up. So I think that's a plus in the wrestling area. Sports are starting back. One thing that I don't think anybody's thinking about that we have going on our side is that we already have medical checks before every event. So taking somebody's temperature and having an O2 sensor on them, as they go in for skin checks and weigh-ins, is not going to crush us in the wrestling world. Another thing is that, we're always preaching to our kids about getting clean and mopping the mats and cleaning our gear and trying to stay ahead of, any kind of infection or anything like that. And I think all that kind of just helps our cause, to get back on the mat. When they had the flow wrestling thing where Dake and Taylor wrestled in, just a week or so ago, that those are all the precautions that they went and they mopped the mats between each matches, and everything was good. They had COVID tests and screenings, thermometers, and going through. So I really, and then if we have to wrestle in a mask, put headgear over it, so be it. I think those are slight modifications that we could do and it not, change anything up for our sport. So.
You don't think the mask would affect the wrestling at all with the conditioning?
Yeah, but if we're conditioning well enough, I don't think it's gonna, wearing it for 6 minutes is gonna bother anybody because they're getting to wrestle. If it came down to it, wearing a mask and wrestling or no wrestling, all right. So,
so what's all this in this little shadow box?
All right, so we got first off our first trophy we ever won, Tuscaloosa County High School, 2008. It's we got a replica of our first state championship. Then the National Club Wrestling Association used to host a high school national tournament, and we got to go do that. Hayes Winkles, okay. So there's a guy refereeing in Florida and Alabama, okay, and he's one of their sons, and his name's Rob Hayeswinkle, and then they're multi-world and national and Olympic champs, and Rob is actually a referee in Alabama. And Sam Hayeswinkle, you know him from the Olympics. Okay, that's the other son. So anyway, then we got Austin Milster. He's right there. He wrestled for Hoover, 2-time state champ, and he wrestled at West Point for the Army. And then right here we got John Salter MMA, Salty Dog MMA, or Jiu-Jitsu, Salty Dog Jiu-Jitsu. He's a 2-time state champ from Gardendale, then wrestled at Lindenwood, and then won a national title at Lindenwood, and then started fighting the UFC. And then, over here we got his banner from Madison Square Garden, UFC 113. He's now fighting at Bellator and, mixing it up, breaking arms and stuff. The coolest trophy, I think, Mountain Brook Spartan Invitational. They need to get that back because that's got to be the coolest Spartan helmet, trophy. And then got the 25-hour headgear challenge. Okay, and I'm not replacing these guys until I fill it up, so I'm not going to go back and get more things. But so it's a game we started playing. They have to wear their headgear for 25 hours during a road trip that we take. We got a shower in it and everything, so it's kind of funny. And yeah, anyway, it's one of those mind game things. So there we go. Got that.
So you won 8 state titles in the last 10 years. God, you're old.
Yeah.
So
a lot of miles.
What does it take to do something like that? Like, what are you doing that no one else in the state is doing to have had that feat?
So, got asked this by an administrator one time, and he didn't like my answer. Okay, so didn't like my answer. Okay, because I said, well, everything in wrestling, okay, a single leg's a single leg, a double leg's a double leg, right? So the only thing that we do different is we pray before every practice. I said that was the only thing I could think of at the time that I guess we do different. Because my thing was that, there's a single leg and there's a double leg. There you go, right? Other than that, I think we have a good support system, a good family support system, and some good coaches. So that, like to have fun.
So Coach, what do you think about the hot topic in Alabama wrestling right now with girls wrestling?
So all right, so this is the kind of different way to think about it. Okay, so they have separate sports for baseball and softball, right? They have different sports for basketball, guys and girls. They have different sport in track. Now, they even have a different sport in bowling. Okay? So what other sport do they have guys and girls compete at the same time against each other? So, there's my one thing about girls wrestling. Okay, another thing is, I think, especially in adolescence, I think guys and girls mature differently, especially when they become grown adults. They're definitely body fat ratios, strength. There's differences. It's good differences, okay? Don't get me wrong. but so I don't think it's if it's not I don't like using the term fair, but if it's not equal, okay, to have them bowl against each other, okay, why would it be equal for them to try to physically take each other down? So I don't think it's equal. I think we should have an equal girls division than we do guys division. So that's my, and I would actually like my girls to wrestle, because when we go to youth camp, they make the boys cry. So, selfishly, I guess.
So, do you want to talk a little bit about your the movement? What are you guys doing to move forward in girls wrestling?
So we kind of approached the AHSAA to sanction it, full sanction, and then in the rules committee at the AHSAA, we got together and said, okay, look, if we're not going to be able to sanction it full blown, then let's do a during this competition cycle. It's a 2-year term. Let's put together 4 tournaments for girls alongside of the guys tournaments. So it would be an open call for, if this team has so many girls, bring them along with your other team, and so there'll be 4 separate run tournaments, run independently but at the same location, so we won't have to split coaching staffs, or that won't be a thing. So this year we're gonna have Gulf. One's gonna be at Gulf Shores, another one's gonna be in North Alabama, and we're looking for another location for another. And then the state championship is going to be at the Crossplex at the same time that the dual state championship is. So it's going to be run in conjunction with that. So the first girls AHSAA state champ will be this upcoming year, hopefully.